It's been bothering me for way too long because we were doing this series for several months and it never got an official ending because the website deleted our file because for some reason the the extra thing, like the save thing, wasn't there for that game. So yeah, anyway, this is hacked just like the other one, except we're playing on arcade pre-hacks this time. The only hack on there is infinite tips. I did the training already, going through that stupid don't move burgers on the grill training, but I managed to basically the first person gave me, look how much money they gave me, like that's insane. So what I'm gonna do, right, is I'm gonna get every single upgrade on, like almost as if it's the episode that we never did. It's kind of like the lost episode, you know. Just purchase everything. Just every single upgrade possible. I think that's all of them, right? That's all of them, right. So yeah, we had every single item the last time we tried this. Just pretend we're on day whatever we were on. Unfortunately, Mikey's not going to be here today because he wasn't able to. But to make up for that, I've decided that what I'm going to do is, since we never got to do this episode like properly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a, like, you know how I during the series I kind of made my own creepypastas and I didn't really care, like that. I think I'm gonna do that, but like I'm gonna do it like a series, like a story about us. Like it's gonna be like Papa's Burgeria, the lost episode or something, because you know how good those lost episode creepypastas are, right? Haha. So anyway, so that's what I'm gonna do. Hang on a second, this stupid barbecue sauce is not working properly. Yes, that's going to be their burger. So I don't really care if I'm making it properly. I never did. So anyway, they're also going to be looking angrily at me. I'm not finished with you! Anyway, so the first story goes like this again. We had finished recording episode 15 of Papa's Burgeria about maybe a few weeks ago. And we thought we would finally do the finale episode. Because why not? We might as well. So basically what happened was I started up the website. However, the file was replaced by one that said death. And there was also 2 extra files. Instead of the joke ones, they said Satan and very blood. So what I did was I clicked on the one that just said death. Now I was informing Mikey about this and he was very surprised because why was it called Death? That's not what we named our character. As much as I remember, we named him Mr Moo or something along those lines. So unfortunately, that's what we had to do. Anyway, what happened was, as soon as we started on that file, weird and spooky things were happening. One of the customers inspected the burger for 5 minutes. We thought maybe the game had crashed, but just before we were about to hit the refresh button, something happened. The character staring at the burger, suddenly his head exploded. We were not sure why this happened. However, we just assumed that maybe we should just move on, so we tried to. However, every link we clicked on led back to Papa's Burgeria for no particular reason. Now, the strange thing is, every time it led to a different Burgeria game, all of the files were named differently. We know for a fact that we hadn't played this game on so many different websites. I mean, why would we, right? So we figured we might as well try it one more time, and well, that was probably a bad idea, because what happened was we clicked on the next one that came up, and the file was called Hyperrealism. So we clicked on the file. Now, for some reason, on this file, the graphics looks like GTA 5. Now, I'm not going to lie, it looked pretty nice. However, the thing is, well, it probably wasn't a good idea. Wally, the old man, walked in and started ordering his burger. However, the fact that he looked really realistic was strange, because he looked actually a lot different from what he normally looks like. His head was not there. So we figured maybe we'll try to record this, because it's something really weird. Like, we could send it into the creators of this game. So that's what we tried to do. However, OBS would not start working. Look, it's working now. Anyway, moving on. OBS did not start working. So instead, we decided that maybe we might try to recreate it with some clever video editing that we apparently know in the story, even though we don't actually know it in real life. However, the video editing software, obviously we realised we couldn't use it because, well, duh, we can't record anything. Then all of a sudden we heard a really, really loud scream. And then Slender Tinky Winky was on the screen. Slender Tinky Winky was behind my character every time we did anything. It was very surprising. But as soon as our character mysteriously turned around, after that, well, I should say every single time that you finish a day, your customer turns around. However, when he did that, Slender Tinky Winky killed him. There was very blood all over the walls. So, the next day started up, but instead of playing as, what's her name, Marty, instead we were playing as Rita, the female player. So, we thought, well, please tell me this isn't going to be like Sonic.exe, for God's sake. Luckily, I don't think it was, because we went about 5 in-game days with nothing bad happening. Until the next day came. Papa Louie walked in. His moustache was not there. However, he had red hyper-realistic eyes. And he decided to give us a promotion. So we were promoted to a Mustard Master, which is actually an actual promotions game, in case you didn't know, actually. And I was quite surprised because Mushroom Master is like... Mustard Master is pretty much, I think it's rank 26. Or something along those lines. So it was quite weird. And don't tell me the game has crashed. Are you serious? Oh, never mind. Okay, anyway. The game suddenly went black screen, and then all of a sudden it came back on and Satan was ordering a burger. He ordered a very blood burger. And when we gave him his burger, he looked angry at us, even though we made his burger perfectly. It reminded me of the closers from Papa's Takomiya. You know, you always make their order correctly and they never like it. So, we just reckon that Satan was like a secret closer of this supposed either maybe... Well, since it was a hacked version we were playing, we thought maybe this was the hack. You know, maybe they just decided to add Satan to the game because that's a normal thing that hackers do, right? You know, every single ROM hacker. So anyway, moving on. What we did was we carried on playing, and then eventually the title screen came up. Because I accidentally clicked quit game, somehow. However, instead of the regular theme playing, it was Can You Feel the Sunshine in reverse? Now, that's quite strange, isn't it? I mean, how do they change the title screen theme? Like, I didn't even think it was possible to change it, like, midway through the game. So, I thought nothing of it and moved on. However, the title screen came up again, and it said all you could hear was a creepy laugh in the background, so I started up the new file that had shown up, called Do Not Click This File or Else. Now, because there's a word limit in these names of these files, well, let's put it this way. The word limit normally what it does is it stops. Say, for example, if we wrote Bobbity Bobbers in, it would say Bobbity Bobbers because, you know, there's too many characters. However, this one just spilled out of the box and onto the other files, which I thought was kind of strange, but maybe that's just something new because it was kind of annoying how I couldn't have that many characters in my file name. So I clicked on the file and it started up. Our first customer was a zombie. Now, I don't remember this customer, so I just reckoned it was something new. However, there was only one problem. The zombie was missing his arms! Now, despite the fact he was missing his arms, when we gave him his burger, so all of a sudden his hands appeared for no particular reason. We're not quite sure why. Next customer was a skeleton, and then a vampire, and then it was Cookie Monster, and Cookie Monster ordered a cookie burger. We told him there was no cookie burger, so he grabbed Rita and ripped her heart out. Very hyper-realistically. Anyway, so the next character we came up with was seemingly a mix between Marty and Rita. We thought that was kind of strange. I mean, you can't actually make your own character on this game. You can only play as Marty, Rita, and Papa Louie if you're playing on certain websites. So, we just thought that maybe this person who made this hack was so good at making it that he'd added a new character. And then all of a sudden we realised that first we played as Marty, then we played as Rita, and now we're playing as a completely different character. This is very Sonic.exe like, isn't it? So anyway, Our first customer was Big Bird from Sesame Street for some reason, and he had hyper-realistic eyes. Big Bird threw seeds at us. That's getting sillier. And he said, "It's the beans," even though they were seeds. Now, we are very, very confused by this point, but also very upset over the fact that we couldn't record this weird happening. So, the next customer, strangely, it was Marty, but Marty did not look right. His skin was a very dark grey, his eyes were glowing red, and his hair was on fire. And then his name said Guy Fieri. So we gave him his burger and he left peacefully, which we weren't expecting. Then in came Sonic.exe, because of course it was him. Why wouldn't it be, right? And Sonic.exe did that weird laugh that he does, which is actually, I'm pretty sure, from Final Fantasy. This laugh does not scare me one bit. However, the fact that he was actually a customer, he was standing where the customers normally stand, like when there's a line. Say, for example, you have 4 customers and they'll be standing on the line at the side of the restaurant. He was standing there, except he wasn't, well, let's put it this way, he was doing the normal foot tapping animation that Sonic does in his games. However, every time I checked on him, he was doing it faster and faster and faster. All of a sudden, his foot caught fire, and he threw the fireball towards my character and said, "Make my burger." I was genuinely spooked by this. I wasn't really sure what to say. However, I made the burger, and Sonic.exe was like, "What took you so long? I was waiting here for 87 years!" That's obviously such an exaggeration. Why was he so exaggerative about this? It wasn't 87 years. It took me about 5 minutes because I was genuinely curious about why he was getting faster and faster. However, then all of a sudden, Sonic got really close to the screen. You heard a obviously recycled Five Nights at Freddy's scream, and what happened all of a sudden was the I Am God screen from Sonic.exe appeared. With a very, really disturbing cry from the game. You know, the one that goes, you know the one I'm talking about. So, while this was happening, I decided to ask Mikey what was going on. However, it seemed that he disconnected from Discord, and I'm not sure why. Maybe his computer crashed again like it did in episode, well, probably 12 or something before there, I'm not quite sure. So instead I decided to continue playing, as if nothing had happened. All of a sudden, though, it was not what I expected. The Tails doll appeared. He had no head, but his gem was floating in midair. Now, maybe this was a glitch. I mean, one of the characters in the game, I believe it's Connor, when he raises his hands in Glee when you make him a good burger, his arm is kind of off, like it kind of like stretches away from the other arm, I suppose you could say. So I passed it off as just maybe it was like Tails doll was probably like a replacement for Connor or something. Then I remembered that we're only on day 10 here. Connor actually doesn't appear until about maybe day 15, I'd like to say. So I was pretty much surprised. However, the thing is, the Tails doll wasn't very happy. He sucked the life out of my character. Now, I wasn't even aware he could do this, but apparently he can. Like a mix between a certain villain from a certain show. Can you get the reference? Now, strangely enough, the game cut back to the menu screen. However, it was not playing Can You Feel the Sunshine this time. Instead, it was playing Living in the City in reverse. Then all of a sudden, Tails doll appeared on the title screen, flew out of the screen and killed me with hyper-realistic blood going all over the place, and my eyes were photorealistic. Now you may be wondering, how did I survive to tell you this story? Well, magic. However, you may be thinking, well, that's okay, I suppose, plot lines. However, what do you mean magic? You died, remember? The author can't be killed and then come back to tell the story. Well, I can, and if you do not believe the story, then the Tails doll will come and kill you with hyper-realistic blood going everywhere. Oh, what a finale. I don't know when the Hot Doggeria 2 series will end. Wait, what? Hot Doggeria 2? Nope, that's not a thing. I don't know when it'll end, more to say I don't know when it will continue. I'm not really sure, but whenever we're both available for recording, both being Mikey and I, we will be back to recording eventually. There's one thing I want to say to end the series off. This is not exactly the finale I wanted, but it's the finale we're getting. So, yeah. Anyway, next Burgeria episode. No, that's probably not happening. The next Uria episode it will be Hot Doggery episode 2, like I said, whenever we get round to it. I'm pretty sure I had like a better end to that story, but I forgot it, so I just turned to hyper-realistic blood again. I don't know. But remember, in Alaska, do not push a moose out of a plane.